Hey everybody, this is Jeremy Siskind. I'm here with Miles Jensen today. Not him. I'm the author of Playing Solo Jazz Piano and the Jazz Piano Fundamental series. How many books have you written, Miles?
I have written no books. So.
Have you read a book?
I have read some books. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Couple.
Miles is one of my favorite guitar players living in the LA area. You can find more at Miles Jensen with two E's, music.com. MilesJensenmusic.com.
That's correct.
Fantastic. And so today, I've been talking a lot with some of my college students who are going off, and I've been encouraging them to play with others. And some of them are saying, well, I only really know a guitarist. I only really know another pianist. Like, how am I going to make that work without bass and drums? And for me, the simplest way to do this is to think about your three main roles you're going to have in a jazz ensemble. This can get a lot more complex, but like in general, we have a bass role, usually played by a bass, but not always. And especially as pianists, we can play bass a lot of the times.
More range than I do.
Yeah, we go a little lower. We have our chord or comping role, and then whoever's playing the melody or soloing. And so if you are a little bit newer, if you're going to play with a guitarist like we're going to do today without a bass player, you could pre-discuss which roles each of you is going to take. And so we're going to demonstrate a little bit, and then I'm going to show you, we're going to show you a little game that you can play to get better at collaborating in this way. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. Let's do this.
You already signed up. You don't have a choice.
I'm here now. Glad to be here.
So we're going to play the tune Out of Nowhere, and we're going to present it with Miles playing each of the three different roles that I've outlined. So let's start with melody.
Okay.
And so when Miles is playing the melody, I'm going to be in charge of the bass and the chords. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to play like a two-feel or a walking bass line, but you certainly could. You could play kind of a more complex, less regular bass line as well if you want to, kind of maybe in the style of Scalafaro or something. So let's try it. Do you want to play the melody or do you want to improvise?
I'll play the melody mainly. Okay. I might improvise. I can't help myself every once in a while, but I will play the melody.
All right, so he's going to take the melody. I'm going to take the bass and the chords. Smooth. That's pretty easy. There was maybe one or two times where we both kind of went to fill in the spaces at the same time.
Yeah. I felt very supported, but I also felt like I was having a conversation sometimes. You like I could throw out an idea, you'd react, and we were kind of both finding each other. So that's a tough way. It's nice to figure out the roles, but also when you're improvising to kind of explore where each of you go to.
Yeah, because there's those big holes in the tune.
This
right?
is true, yeah, exactly.
Like there's melody for bars 1 and 2, and then bars 3 and 4 we're just sitting there.
Yeah,
and so,
exactly.
It could be that I become more active with my comping, or it could be that you do a more melodic fill.
Yeah, or you can even do like a bass kind of figure in there, and then I could kind of leave space for that. So there's just so many ways we can do it.
Yeah. All right, so now you're going to take the middle. Okay, so you're going to be the comping instrument, and that leaves me as the pianist in a slightly unusual role to just play the bass and the melody. Yeah. Like that's probably the thing we actually do the least.
Oh, really? I guess that's true.
Because we're usually comping for ourselves.
Yeah.
But I kind of like playing like this.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes.
All right.
for me.
It was kind of weird for me too.
Really?
Yeah. In a duo setting, sometimes I'll play bass lines too, so it kind of to just stay to a one role. But it's a good exercise to kind of limit yourself to one of the roles,
Right, and from a timbral perspective, like it's strange to hear the bass and the chord. Oftentimes, if I'm playing a bass line on the piano, I'm gonna move my right hand down into the chord range so that the melody covers some of the chords. And I didn't do that this time because he was covering the chords. But it could, that's one reason, the hands were just so far apart that I kind of felt like
as a melody.
that feels a little bit more coherent and cohesive to me.
I mean, that's part of knowing the ranges that you're playing with too, I guess. A guitar kind of has the naturally higher timbres and all, so where I'm comping also influences, where you might be soloing too, so.
All right, so this next one's also maybe going to be a little weird. Okay. Now you're going to play the bass.
I got it.
And I'm going to play the chords. And so the guitar bass doesn't go as low as a regular bass or as low as we can go on the piano.
That's true.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when you play bass lines on guitar, you're usually harmonizing on top of it. It's kind of rare to just play a single note bass line.
This is true, but I'm going to try to do just a single note.
You're going to single note?
Yeah, but I mean, in that... there's...
Right.
Those little chords at the top, yeah.
Yeah.
I might throw those in.
Not today.
No. Maybe towards the second half, I might throw those in just.
All right, and I'm gonna try to stay out of that bass range too. So let's try it.
The guitar doesn't go as low, so just knowing that, it just has a different sound to it, So it kind of works because there's a rhythmic, the rhythm is happening, but you can kind of solo on top of it as you see fit. So
yeah,
that's a fun way to do it too.
Cool. And so, in each of those examples, the piano was taking 2 of the 3 jobs, and the guitar was taking just 1. But the guitar certainly is capable of taking 2 of those jobs.
Yeah. Towards the end, I started to do a little bit more kind of comping and bass lines together. So, right. Yeah.
But the guitar probably could not do melody and bass.
Hold on. That one would be
No,
most
difficult.
Definitely, because those are 2 distinctly different roles. The melodies kind of sits in certain places, and the bass has a certain role too. So doing both of those is the hardest. Usually, it's a combination of all 3 for myself in terms of solo playing, but yes.
Okay, so now I guess one more thing to say, and we'll do a video with some more advanced duo principles soon, maybe. But in reality, there's often a lot of overlap. And probably the biggest overlap occurs with the chords, right? We're both usually occupying some part of that chord thing. And sometimes that means that there's tension, but in reality, that's kind of the real middle of the Venn diagram most of the time.
That's very true. Yeah. That's kind of the part that going into it as a piano player, if I'm going to play with a piano player or if a piano player is going to play with me, it's hard to find each other sometimes with it's harmony because we all come in with a different sense of, how we hear things, but if you have big ears, you can work together and find some harmony that kind of works, that you both play.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so I want to try this game now.
Okay.
This brand new game. It's gonna sweep the nation. So what I want you to do, Miles, is we're gonna play out of nowhere, and every 4 measures, you're going to change role. So you're gonna go between melody, chords, and bass. You're not gonna tell me which one you're gonna do, including at the beginning. I'm not gonna know. And so it's my job to then fill in the other 2 roles. So whatever you're not doing, I'm gonna have to listen and respond as quickly as I can and make it sound as seamless as we can.
This is challenging.
Yeah. You're not gonna tell me at the beginning. I'll play an introduction and then we'll see what happens.
That sounds good. Yeah.
We'll try to make it sound as musical as possible. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miles Jensen, everybody. So milesjensenmusic.com. Anything else they should look? Instagram, Facebook?
The Instagram is MyLimo Music, and I'll be posting where I play and all that coming soon.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.